and welcome. I'm Melinda Akimami. Tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari launches Nigeria's economic recovery and growth plan, says his administration is committed to leading the economy to a self-sustaining level. Kaduna State holds second investment summit. Governor Nasir El-Rufai highlights his administration's plans to make the state an investment hub. Another suicide in Lagos, a senior naval officer shoots himself dead. And South Africa's President Jacob Zuma survives another attempt to force him out of office.
And in business news tonight, International Monetary Fund asks federal government to fast-track economic reform and change current forex policy.
And in sports news, English club side Coventry City terminates the contract of Nigeria striker Yakubu Ayegbeni after playing 3 games.
And from Abuja, House of Representatives reject proposed amendment to Constitution that will enable the National Assembly to remove state governors.
We begin tonight from Abuja, where the president today assured Nigerians that his administration is committed to fulfilling the social contracts he entered with the people during his campaign. The president was speaking when he launched the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, which he believes will lead the country to self-sufficiency. The event, which took place at the presidential villa, was attended by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Yakubu Dogara, amongst other dignitaries. President Muhammadu Buhari is taking another step to fulfill his election promises to Nigerians. The president is launching the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, which will run until 2020. The president says his administration is committed to reviving the economy by repositioning the country from an import-dependent nation to a producing country that can be self-reliant.
Our aim, simply put, is optimize local content and empower local businesses. We seek not just to take the Nigerian economy out of recession, but to place it on a path of sustained, inclusive, and diversified growth.
The plan has 3 broad strategic objectives: restoring growth of the economy, investing in the Nigerian people, and building a globally competitive economy. It targets to grow the gross domestic product to 7.0% by 2020. The Minister of Budget and National Planning says the document articulates over 60 intervention initiatives that will be implemented over the next 4 years.
It focuses on 5 execution priorities, and which are central to achieving the 7% growth projected by the end of the plan period. These are namely stabilizing the macroeconomic environment, achievement of agriculture and food security, expansion of energy infrastructure, particularly power and petroleum, improving transportation infrastructure, and driving industrialization, principally through local and small business enterprises.
The plan requires the involvement of states and federal lawmakers.
The only thing left we will talk about is implementation. But I believe that implementation not only relies on the delivery unit, I think it relies on all of us. We must make it work. It has to work. We have a great opportunity now with strong leadership and political will to make it work. On behalf of the Senate and members, I want to also pledge that we will make it and make sure it works.
On behalf of the Nigerian Governors Forum, that the 36 governors will take ownership and ensure effective execution at the subnational level, as this is the surest way to achieving the sustainable inclusive growth.
Already, the president has approved the establishment of a unit in the presidency that will monitor the implementation of the plan.
Your Excellency.
To discuss more about the ERGP, we have joining us on the news at 10 tonight, Dr. Ayo Teriba, the Chief Executive of Economic Associates. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Now, Dr. Teriba, what do you think about the federal government's economic recovery and growth plan?
Well, I think it's a good development. Everyone has been asking, the government to bring out a blueprint, and now they have. So it's a big step forward, and at least to know what the government is willing to do, and it forms a basis for engaging the government. There will be, areas where people will comment. There will be areas where people will ask for more, but it's a landmark. It's something that's, been longed for in the past nearly 2 years. So it's better late than never.
Now, one of the core issues raised there is the need for the country to be able to feed itself. So that points a lot of direction to agriculture. Can agriculture get us out of recession?
Well, we are almost out of recession already. We fell into recession in the first half of last year, largely because of the low price of oil. Price of oil is twice as high as it was last year. So I guess that we should concentrate more on the recovery part of the plan. Growth is likely to be back this quarter, our last quarter of this, So I don't think it's about getting out of recession anymore. We are effectively out of recession now. So it's about growth. Whether agriculture can get us can get us the growth we desire, I do not think agriculture was in crisis. The economy was in crisis. So the plan, I thought, should have separated crisis response from the general plans and intentions of government. So agri is not a crisis sector. It's one of the biggest sectors of the economy. It's the second largest sector of the economy, more than 20 trillion coming from agri every year. So 1/5 of GDP. I would have preferred more emphasis on problem sectors. The plan did mention transportation infrastructure, power, energy infrastructure, whether it's power, gas, or petrol. Those sectors are in crisis. So they are a problem for agriculture. They're a problem for manufacturing, for mining, for everybody. So I would have preferred, attending to those sectors that were in crisis as the key priority, because it will benefit agriculture rather than trying to do more for a sector that is contributing a large fraction of the growth that we're already getting.
Now, Dr. Teriba, this launch is coming at a time when the IMF just released the report on Nigeria's economy. It talked about so many things, some major policy reforms that has to be changed, and also the forex policy, amongst other things. So how does this fit into the government's plan?
Right. A plan is out, and an international agency is calling for faster pace, faster action. That's what I had said earlier, that the plan provides a basis for engaging the government. The plan does cover, if you like, all imaginable sectors, issues, but the plan didn't provide much in terms of the details of what will be done, when will that be done. So, and that might be what the IMF is asking for. So the government does say after the launch, we enter the implementation phase. So let's hope that the government will, as soon as possible, let's know what the key action steps are going to be. Let's know when the action steps are going to be taken. That will provide a lot more comfort, than just telling us that in 2020 we will be here without giving details of how we plan to get there from here.
The Chief Executive of Economic Associates, Dr. Ayo Teriba, thank you so much for speaking with us on the news at 10.
Thank you.
So other stories now. The Emir of Kano, His Royal Majesty Muhammadu Sanusi II, is a man known to always hit the nail on the head, and he did just that at the second Kaduna Investment Summit, where he was the keynote speaker. The Emir says the poverty level in northern part of Nigeria is simply alarming.
Presented by the federal government. We are in denial. The Northwest and the Northeast, demographically, constitute the bulk of Nigeria's population. But look at human development indices. Look at the number of children out of school. Look at adult literacy. Look at maternal morbidity. Look at infant mortality. Look at girl-child completion rates. Look at per capita income. The Northeast and the Northwest of Nigeria are among the poorest parts of the world.
The Emir asked Nigerians not to mix religion with politics and governance.
What is our attitude towards educating our girls? What is our attitude towards child spacing so that we can financially maintain and educate and bring up children? What is the purpose of a large population that is not educated, that is jobless, that is unemployed? Of what benefit is it to the North to have 3 million children out of school, roaming the streets begging? I can't conceivably think of any benefit to us as human beings, or as Nigerians, or as Northerners, or as Muslims, of having this army of unemployed beggars.
He's not done yet, as he called on northern leaders, particularly the elites, to align themselves with development in major Islamic countries of the world.
For us to address social policy, we have to reclaim our religion. We have to look at what our religion actually says as opposed to what culture says. I'm sorry, but a current issue yesterday, if it is true, what I read, 200 people die of meningitis in a state. The governor was asked, and he said, it is God's curse on us for the sins. For the sin of fornication, which apparently does not happen in America, which is why they don't have meningitis. That we have placed ourselves in this situation where simple things, it's a medical issue. You don't have vaccines, go and find vaccines. Treat those who have caught it. Don't give these kinds of explanations. But this is the mindset. And I have a degree in Islamic law, and I can tell you that that is not an Islamically correct statement to make.
We'll have more on the Kaduna Investment Summit after the break. Plus, another suicide in Lagos. A naval rear admiral allegedly shoots himself dead. Stay with us.